Listening to Focal Point with Brian Fisher. Focal Point with Brian Fisher.
Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. We'll start taking your calls. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. 888-589-8840. Rob, let's grab that. I'm going to go back to the Cochran-McDaniel campaign here in just a second, but let's play the trailer from this new movie that I was talking with Senator Santorum about, One Generation Away, the Erosion of Religious Liberty in America, American Family Studios, along with Echolite Studios producing this. And let's play the trailer for this so you can get an idea of what you're in store for on September 1 and why we believe this is going to be an important movie for you to take in with your friends and family.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof.
Liberty is always one generation away from extinction.
As our founders wrote, this is the free exercise of religion, not the freedom from religion.
This is at the heart of American liberty.
They are trying to suggest that there should be a sanitized corridor where no religious viewpoint can be expressed.
The cross is ubiquitous. It's the preeminent symbol of Christianity. It's a government advertisement for one religion.
It's the government's job only to protect that there is a freedom to have religious expression.
It is un-American. It is still unconstitutional.
You know, in America, that's called free speech.
Millions of good Americans think birth control and abortion are a blessing. It's a good thing for this country.
When religious conscience is violated, that's our signal that government has gone too far.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction.
We need to be good stewards of this time in history where we have the erosion of religious liberty happening in our lifetimes.
And it will go away if we do not attend to the threats to religious freedom right now. Bonhoeffer knows that it's possible to wake up the German church, but they don't wake up.
It's time to stop talking about Dietrich Bonhoeffer and start being willing to be him.
And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
That's the film, One Generation Away, joint project of Echolite Studios, Rick Santorum, and American Family Studios, becoming your way September 1, 2014. Number to call if you want to join our conversation is 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Especially interested in your observations, reactions to the Cochran-McDaniel campaign contest in the state of Mississippi. 888-589-8840 will be decided tomorrow. By the way, our own Tim Wildman will be on a panel tomorrow night hosted by the Daily Journal, which is the largest newspaper here in Northeast Mississippi. But people from all over the country will have an interest in tuning in for this analysis because it'll be focused on this very, very important primary race. Daily Journal, I think it's djournal.com. Anyway, Daily Journal, Northeast Mississippi. Just get to the website, and you'll be able to tap into the streaming broadcast of that panel of analysts. Now, a couple number to call here again, 888-589-8840. And let's grab clip number 1 if we can, Rob. This is a robocall, and it turns out that this call you're about to hear has been made from the phone of an 18-year-old woman who had no idea that somebody had hacked into her phone and was using her phone and her phone number to make these robocalls accusing the Tea Party and basically the supporters of Chris McDaniel of outright racism. So now those that are the opponents of Chris McDaniel are blatantly playing the race card, and they've hacked into an 18-year-old woman's cell phone in order to do it. Now, what happened is these robocalls go out over the weekend. She starts having these people call her Why are you calling me? I don't want to hear this from anybody. Please don't call me at night. I don't want to take calls at night. I don't want to take calls in the middle of the night. She had no idea that any of this was going on. Her phone had been hacked and was being used to send out this robocall. Let's listen.
Hello, neighbors. The time has come to make a stand and say no to the Tea Party, no to their obstruction, no to their disrespectful treatment of the first African-American president. Next Tuesday, June 24th, Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniel is in a runoff against Senator Thad Cochran. If we do nothing, Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniel wins and causes even more problems for President Obama. It pushes for damaging cuts in funding to our public education system. With your help, we can stop this. Please commit to voting against Tea Party candidate Chris McDaniels next Tuesday. Say no to the Tea Party.
Yeah, it's interesting for a number of reasons. Number one, whoever's behind this broke the law to do it, hacked into somebody's cell phone, evidently to cover their own tracks and conceal their traces, accused the Tea Party of racism, accused Chris McDaniel of being somebody who will go back to Washington, D.C. and continue this racist opposition to Senator Barack Obama. But what's also interesting to me, that New York Times piece about how Senator McDaniel is drawing upon the energy of the Tea Party. And here, I don't know how many times the phrase Tea Party shows up. This is, about a 41-second robocall. I mean, who are they afraid of? Who are Democrats? Who are liberals? Who are progressives? Who are establishment Republicans afraid of? They are scared to death of the Tea Party. Vote no, not on Chris McDaniel. Say no to the Tea Party. So they're trying to make this a referendum on the Tea Party. So once again, it's an indication you can always tell who they fear by who they attack, and that clearly right now is the Tea Party. Now, 888-589-8840, number to call. Just to get back, before we go to the phones, this business about these notaries purloining absentee ballots from people that had always voted in Democratic primaries, filling them out for the absentee voter who realized has no idea this is being done. So these notaries have access to these records, and they can notarize these ballot forms. That's why they can get away with this law breaking. So they get the absentee form, they fill it out for the candidate, has absolutely no idea this is going on. Then they turn it in as a vote for Senator Cochran. And here's an example of some of the irregularities just from June 3rd. Adams County Northside Precinct in the 2012 GOP primary election. You know how many Republican votes were cast in that primary? 0. 2012, Adams County Northside Precinct, 0 Republican voters in the 2012 GOP primary election. But in 2014, June 3, 68 people voted for Cochran, 6 for McDaniel, and 1 for Thomas Carey. He's the third-party guy that threw this thing into a runoff. So it went from 0 Republican voters to 75 Republican voters. Here's Coahoma County, the Lyon District, LYON, saw 95 votes in the 2012 GOP primary. But in 2014, Cochran got 202 votes, while McDaniel got 63. That's more than a 200% increase in GOP turnout, while the state as a whole saw only about an 8% increase in turnout since the 2012 GOP primary. So the statewide, there's about an 8% increase in turnout, but in this district, a 200% increase. Now, they had GOP voters in 2012. 95 votes were cast, so it shouldn't surprise us that Chris McDaniel got 63 votes. Those are probably legitimate votes. But Senator Cochran got 202 votes in 2014 when a grand total of 95 votes altogether were cast in the 2012 GOP primary. So more evidence that there is skullduggery afoot. Let's go to Andrew in Tupelo, Mississippi. Andrew, thank you for calling. Thanks for waiting. What's on your mind?
I am calling from Tupelo, Mississippi, and We have been up here campaigning all weekend, going door to door, sign waving, and I'm from his district, Chris McDaniel's, and I can't vote, so I'm trying to get other people to vote for him instead of me.
All right, Andrew. So you are 13.
Yes, sir.
And you are campaigning for Chris McDaniel. Not old enough to vote, but you think it's important enough to help him that you're out there going door to door to boost his chances. Let me ask you, you're 13. There's no wrong answer here, but I'm just asking you, Andrew, for you personally, what do you like about Senator Chris McDaniel? Why would you at 13 go to the trouble to go door to door and campaign for Senator McDaniel?
Well, I am a Christian, and he is also, and I just think that is one of the main things that you need in a Republican.
All right. Well, listen, Andrew, I appreciate you calling very much. And, man, I tell you, it's great, regardless of who you happen to be behind, it's just great to see somebody at age 13 actively involved in the political process. So thank you for the call, Andrew. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, you bet. You know, and again, you know, Andrew's 13. He's probably more engaged in the political landscape than most people who are 2 or 3 or 4 times or 5 times his age. So it's just another indication, ladies and gentlemen, it is way too soon to give up on the millennials. This guy's not even a millennial yet. Andrew's not even a millennial yet. He's 13. He can't even vote. But he's got his mind right when it comes to political affairs. He understands that the single most important ingredient in a public official is he a sincerely devoted follower of Jesus Christ? Remember, the first Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, John Jay, he said, look, it is the duty as well as the privilege of this Christian nation to select and prefer Christians for their rulers. That's the first Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, and Andrew understands exactly what John Jay was saying over 200 years ago. Well, that's it for the first hour. Focal Point AF. Our talk will be right back after the news. Stay with us.